And the African Union rules no coup in Guinea Bissau.
But there was an assassination this week in the West African nation, and because of it, Guinea Bissau has a new president.
Joining us now on the phone to discuss the situation in Guinea Bissau is Scott Stern, VOA's West Africa Bureau Chief in neighboring Senegal. Scott, welcome.
Welcome, Scott.
My pleasure.
Yes. Now, the Speaker of the Guinea-Bissau Parliament, Mr. Raimundo Pereira, has been sworn in as interim president. The military there says there is no coup, and it looks like elections will take place in 6 months' time. Now, to what extent have these latest developments in Guinea-Bissau reassured the people in that country and the West African region that the country will proceed peacefully and smoothly?
Well, I think you can see that from the African Union decision and the conclusions of the foreign minister delegation from the Economic Community of West African States, which was in Bissau yesterday, in stark contrast, for instance, to the coup in Guinea-Conakry or the coup in Mauritania. Neither the African Union nor the Economic Community of West African States appears moving towards censuring Guinea-Bissau, because I think they rightfully conclude it's not a coup. As you said, National Assembly Speaker Pereira is the new interim leader of Guinea. That is in keeping with the constitutional order of succession following the murder of President João Bernardo Vieira. Mr. Pereira will be the interim leader of Guinea before elections in about 60 days.
Now, Scott, what do you make of some assertions or some statements by say, the chairperson of ECOWAS, Mr. Mohamed Chamba, who says that these developments in Guinea-Bissau really were predictable. Anybody who was following the events there could have predicted that this was going to happen. Could it have been prevented, from what you know?
Well, there was no doubt, a long-standing rivalry between President Vieira, who was killed on Monday, and the Army Chief of Staff, who was killed late Sunday night in a bomb blast in a stairwell outside his office. But the fact that there had been a long-standing rivalry between these men, I don't think would necessarily make it a foregone conclusion that both would be killed within hours of each other, and that the military, instead of taking power, sought urgent meetings with both the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Prime Minister to assure them and the international community that this was not a coup d'etat. In fact, the military itself has distanced itself from the killing of President Vieira, a military spokesman saying that it was an isolated group of unknown gunmen who carried out that murder, and they're being sought by the army.
And in fact, Scott, this looks like a very unfamiliar scene in the African continent. But then assassinated President João Bernardo Vieira was from a minority group called the Papel, while the assassinated chief of the military, Batista Tagminaway, comes from the majority Balanta, which makes up most of the army. Now, how have the ethnic sentiments played out up to this moment?
There's no doubt that was an element of the power struggle between the two men. The minority tribe, as you say, the Papel, had gained some commercial and political influence through President Vieira. The majority tribe, as you say, is controlling the military. So far, we've not seen any indication that there have been any reprisals between those two groups. There have several hundred refugees from Guinea-Bissau have already crossed the border here into Senegal. They are primarily from the minority ethnic group, and they said that they were afraid of reprisals. But as you well know, the movement of just several hundred refugees fearing reprisals is not an indication that there actually are reprisals, and that there are large numbers of people leaving the country because of it. I think the feeling, at least among ECOWAS officials who I've spoken to, is if Speaker Pereira, new interim
Scott?
leader... Yes.
Sorry, we just need to break in for a second. We only have about 20 seconds left in this. Very briefly, if you can address the question. You know, of course, the president there, Mr. Vieira, has been there for a long time during this time in Guinea-Bissau. What is his legacy, very briefly?
Legacy, fighting to return to power and really having this power struggle with the military. He was returned to power in elections in 2005, but never repaired relations with the military.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
Scott.
you so much.
That is Scott Stearns, our VOA West African Bureau Chief.